back to the studio. Now we have Kimberly Nelson here from Philanthropy to give us some updates. Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, good morning, Margaret. It is so exciting to be here today. And happy Flag Day. I wore my little festive scarf today, and that was a great video in celebration of Flag Day and patriotism. But today I wanted to just do a little bit of a scholarship fund recap, which I know is near and dear to your heart as well.
Yes.
So I wanted to just take a minute to thank residents who came to the Scholars Award ceremony and who donated their time to that event the end of May. It was hugely successful. We heard so many positive comments. I have heard from a few folks who've said, I missed the ceremony. Do you have a copy of the program? And we have extra copies in the Philanthropy office. And we put out a few more copies of the thank you letters from the students at the neighborhood cubbies by their mailboxes. Mm-hmm. But if indeed there are none there, let us know and we'll get a copy made and put it in your cubby, which is the thank you notes that the students wrote. Because we don't want to make more than we need, because we don't want to waste paper. But we also want to make sure residents get that information, because the letters are really very inspiring and just so heartfelt from our students who just really appreciate that gift of education. And so as we talk about education, I think you are probably a great person to sort of talk about that, if I can put you on the spot for a minute, because we had lunch with Mr. Gubak the other day, and you are the recipient of the Gubak Scholarship, which, just for residents who are new, that is a scholarship that is funded through a resident, Mr. Gubak. It is not part of the annual fundraising, so he has fully funded that scholarship, which is lovely, and the criteria and sort of what it involves. But I know you were a recipient last year as well as this year, so I thought, could you just, for those who might have missed the ceremony, tell us how last year helped you and what did you do your freshman year, if you don't mind?
Of course.
Okay.
So for residents who don't know, with this scholarship, I serve a certain amount of hours at the Channel 6 studio, which is why I'm here today. And through that scholarship, I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about what happens behind the scenes of how to make Channel 6 run and our village in motion. Mm-hmm. And last summer was my first summer. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I learned the ropes as I went along, so I was so grateful to be able to come back this summer and kind of pick up where I was and see all the residents that I befriended last summer. Yeah. And work with Diane and Avan and Andrew. And it's a great experience because I not only get scholarship for school, but I also get hands-on experience. Mm-hmm. That it's worth more than the scholarship money itself. And I'm really grateful to Mr. Gubak for believing in me again, I guess would be the word, to offer it to me up again. Yeah,
so I think it's really neat because I know your freshman year you take sort of a lot of the basic classes, but we're hopeful that as you continue with your more specialty classes, that the experience here will give you sort of a leg up as you're having to do internships and projects in other areas. And we don't want you to ever forget your Green Spring family. So we expect great things from you, and when you're famous on the news, you want us to come back and film here in another way, we hope. So, but that's really important for residents to understand the differences between what we call our general $10,000 scholarship that students receive over the 4 years and the scholarship that you receive through Mr. Gubak's scholarship, because those are different, and we raise money for, which is the $10,000 scholarship, and the Gubak scholarship is fully funded through the resident. So we really appreciate that, and I know you appreciate it, and we are so thankful for Mr. Gubak and just his vision to think through the importance of broadcast and journalism and communication and just the art of that profession, so that it gives other young people that next step to pursue their dreams. So that's really exciting. So we're glad you're here.
And could I ask how many scholars that you had that graduated with this program?
Great question. So this year we had 47 scholars receive the $10,000 scholarship. And so that is paid over 4 years, so we do it semester by semester, and the money goes directly to the college or university, just how it does with your scholarship. It never goes directly to the student for tax reasons and charitable reasons. If it goes to the student, then it is taxable as income. So we are very clear on how we process our scholarships, and I'm with the 47 students as well as our previous scholars who are in the program. I guess for lack of a better way of saying it, I'm sort of like that mother hen, because I literally check every report and help sign off on every check every semester. So when students do call or we see a little hiccup in grades, I'll just say they get the Mama Kimberly talk to get back on track and figure out how we can help them if they're struggling with an area. Because we really want all of our scholars to be successful, and we're really very proud of them. So if residents have not donated to the fund and they would like to, please do. We need $470,000 to fully fund, obviously, 47 students. We have this year, we have $227,000 currently in cash. We have some residents who have made legacy gifts through their estate, which we will not have. We hope they don't pass away, so that we'll get those gifts in the future, which will support the program. And we have a little bit of a rainy day fund, but if we deplete the rainy day fund, then we need to figure out how to replenish it. So if you haven't given, please consider making a gift, even though it's a little later in the year or by the end of the year. And if you say, I'm not really sure, maybe I want to leave something through my estate plan for that rainy day fund in the future, then please stop by and see me, and we can sort of talk about if there's options that might work for you. It could be pretty easy if it's something someone wants to do to support education, so we really appreciate that. Yeah, so thank you. And then the other thing we have coming up on July 1st, which is really just around the corner, I'm just 2 weeks away really or so, is we have JG Jewelry is coming back. And so they are a business partner of ours where they will come and do complimentary evaluations of your jewelry, or help see if something should be fixed, or should a chain be lengthened so you can use it better, or change the clasp. And so they'll give you sort of that feedback, and if there is a cost to fix something or modify something, they will let you know. But in many cases, it's just a matter of saying, I have this jewelry in a box. It belonged to my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. It's been passed on. We're not really sure. Is it costume jewelry? Is it really gold, silver? Is it diamonds? Is it something else? And so that also helps you sort of evaluate, okay, this is a piece of jewelry that has financial value, versus this is a piece of jewelry that has sentimental value. And it helps you determine how you want to pass that on in the future. So if that is helpful for residents, we just encourage you to make an appointment and sign up, and she can try to help you through that.
And how does that tie in with the philanthropy department?
Yeah.
If I can ask
Yeah,
that.
sure. So JG Jewelry, they're one of our vendors who support the Gala.
Okay.
So they're a sponsor of the Gala, which happens in September. Nice lead in, thank you. So this, and just a quick save the date, it's Friday, September 16th. We don't even have a screen up yet, so but information will start appearing probably in July, just for save the date and that kind of thing for mid-September. And but so JG Jewelry is one of those vendor partners who really believe in the Benevolent Care Fund, who believe in the mission of Green Spring. But the nice thing also with JG Jewelry is her father lives here.
Okay.
So she also has this really important personal connection, and just really believes in just the celebration and the community here at Green Spring. So if you have questions on that, she comes once a month. If you can't come in July, she'll be back in August. But so she's usually here 10 or 11 times a year, depending on how the holidays and that kind of thing. So please call our office to sign up if you have any questions on that. So, so yeah, and then just a quick note, do we have a minute, about Gala? So it is Friday, September 16th. Residents have already asked where is it going to be held? Which clubhouse are we going to have it? So last year we had it here in Village Square because residents had asked for a different type of setup. So we did another survey after the gala last year, and so we're changing it again back to Hunter's Crossing. So in September it will be back at Hunter's Crossing again because that's what the residents have asked for, and it will be back to a sit-down, more elegant dinner with a show. Okay, so more details will be coming, but I wanted residents to know, especially if they want to go shopping for a new dress, they can do that. The theme is Masquerade Ball. So think of Phantom of the Opera and the song Masquerade and Broadway, and colors of black and white and silver and sparkles. So just think of that really nice, simple elegance that you sort of think of if you're going to go to the Kennedy Center and have a nice dinner and a show. So that's sort of the feel we want residents to anticipate. The event sells out usually very quickly, and you can, of course, bring family or friends. You just have to buy a ticket. So more details will be coming, but again, that will raise money for benevolent care, and we'll really start having that come out usually mid to late July.
And for the residents who might be new to Green Spring, what is this event? It's a fundraiser for the Benevolent Care Fund?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it is. So we do 2 fundraisers every year. Our first one in the spring is our scholarship fund, which we just finished and talked about. And then our second fundraiser is in the fall, which is for the Benevolent Care Fund. So the Benevolent Care Fund is really such a critical fund here at Green Spring. It is a cornerstone of our mission. It is the fund, I call it the rainy day fund for the residents. You know, if a resident who's lived here for many, many years, you know, money does not last forever, and your health changes and your costs go up, and maybe you have to move over to Garden Ridge where the costs really skyrocket. And all of a sudden you have exhausted your savings and everything you've saved really your whole life for to help take care of yourself, which is why you saved it. And so Green Spring believes that once you move to Green Spring is your home. And so the Benevolent Care Fund helps pay the difference in a resident's expenses between maybe what their Social Security pays, for example, or a pension, and what is the real cost of that monthly expense, especially, now oftentimes happens when they're in Garden Ridge or a spouse has moved to Garden Ridge, or there has been a lot of medical care over a long period of time. So that really is such a nice mission. I mean, no one ever wants to get ill. No one ever wants to have to move out of their independent apartment. The nice thing to know is that if you run out of money, Green Spring's here for you, and your neighbors are all working together to help each other through the Benevolent Care Fund. So it's confidential, and we can talk more about it, of course, as it gets closer to the fall. But great question, and if residents have personal questions, just please come see me and make an appointment or stop by, and I can talk to you privately about questions you might have on that, what that really means. So.
Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for coming by. There's a lot of great information that I'm sure a lot of the residents are excited to hear about. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Now.